Nachman says that the way he explains Ara himself is that the Shafat of Eivishter is Metalas Abshitas, which means that it's not an identifiable thing. We can't identify it. Fine. But then everything, all the possibilities are possible from that thing because it's not identifiable. So everything is possible from that. Which means that if I'm limited, there's only that many possibilities. There can be combinations. There can be reflecting off of a human being because we're limited. But if you reflect off of something that is unlimited, b'tachas abshitas, it has no color, no shape, so all the possibilities are possible. So says and since that since he had a desire to have a dir b'tachtonim, so everything that we see, the reason saying since there was a desire, which means that just to understand that we have connection, that the only reason we're here is because we are in somebody's desire. He wants us to be here. His ratzon is what holds us here together. That's how connected we are. It's not that, Eivishter is somewhere like whatever, Hecher and Yunim, whatever buzz, whatever you're feeling in the back of your head, whatever it is that you're experiencing, is as a result of a desire of that thing that created everything. Forget about, for a second, the Yid, anything. Let's not get personal, because everybody has their judgments on what's meant Yid, what's meant Eibishter, creator, whatever it is. Let's just say any creation is a buzz, is a vibration of his desire. So everything that we see is oisius. Everything that we see is letters, oisius, and then these letters, these oisius are down here. We're a reflection of those oisius. And there was Shviras HaKelim, so there was a Shvira of all the oisius. So each and every one of us represent a letter, an energy, an expression of Eivishter. And then there was a Shvira. Shvira means it broke. It broke means there was Shviras HaKelim. We'll get into that soon. B'ezrat Hashem. So Shviras HaKelim means that we are in separation. The pain that we're feeling, the anxiety that we're feeling is because we are in separation. There's a massive pull to get together, but there's also a pull on the other side, the Kira Basil. Yetzi Eschem Matachas Kira Basil is that there's another magnet, which is called Pare, that's pulling us in the other direction. So being pulled, and you don't know which way. And for a long time, we were completely pulled in there, so deep in there, Menta Shara deep in there, which means that we each thought that we are in charge of. If I do more and if I work harder and then I get upset about something, like that's how deep we were in the Mentes. That's how deep we were in the Klippa. From Pare. Tell what this do. Thank you. So now we have the Eibishter starts giving the makkos in Mitzrayim. He starts throwing the plagues. The makkos are Vusmant makkos. Besides, that are played out in the physical world. They lived in Ruach. They lived in the spirit. They were the biggest mechashrim, and they were not. They were flying, right? It was at the level of competing with Moshe Miyah, Lakim Asher, Shema B'Koyle, Ashma B'Koyle. Like there was a showdown of power. There was a showdown of two koiches that were like, what? You were the real deal. I'm the real deal. What are you talking about? Who? What? Yitke Vavke? I don't know what that means. I'm in control over here. You need to do so and so. You need to work. The pare thing. So, what does the makkos look like? The makkos looks like all of a sudden there is, here there is a tornado and a hurricane and something crazy, a wildfire, wildlife. Okay, that's still like fine. That state has heat. This state has flooding. Everything has a reason, which the Alter Rebbe says clearly that it's not like that. Nothing to do with that. This is down south and this is up north. It's straight up. It can be hot and cold. It's like whenever it's hot and cold, it's exactly the way he wants it to be that time. Not like by season. There's a direct. Now, in order for these energies to cook and process properly, there has to be cold. The cold has to be here. And here that was on a heis. And the people that need to go through that processor end up over there. And those who need to stay here, stay here. And everybody's exactly magnetically where they need to be. So comes the first. So if it happens in a different state, you can still argue that whatever it is, the region. But if it happens all over, globally, if it happens everywhere, then that means that this thing is something that has the power over all 70 of these masters, these Sarim. There's the Zibitzik Sarim. Each nation has a Sar. So all of a sudden, when everything gets shut down, then you must say that this is only one thing that has a koyach to shut down everything. And this is the Melech himself, Melech Malach HaMelech HaKadosh Baruch Hu, where he said, I'm not going to send no Malach, no Sarif. I'm not going to send a threat over here on one side and then over there. So there's arguably that as I let them know that I'm here, they can argue and hijack that by saying, okay, that's the way it's supposed to be in that region. I'm going to come, me, myself, I'm shutting down everything, right? COVID comes, everything is shut down. Silence. Economies, everybody's locked down, not a single bullet is fired, nothing. All the nonsense that you can say here, there, it's out. Everybody's sitting very quietly. Nobody has anything to say. Nobody. So we know that this was Melech Malach HaMelech that stopped everything. So what that does is it starts pulling back the desire, starting to all of a sudden the illusion of what was stressing you and pulling you and pushing you is now getting much softer. Like you're realizing, hey, I can stay here, home and somehow it happened, stuff worked themselves out. And they were so desperate that they had to go send checks out to the people, right? To keep everybody like, hey, you're still my slaves. I'm gonna make you dependent on you. Right, fine, but on the other side of that, that's what it is. That's when the Shefa shows up. It's like, we'll live on a higher thing. It doesn't have to make sense. So getting back to the point, we want to go to 50. And why we're not sleeping, yes, why we're not sleeping. We shouldn't sleep. Okay, so so everything is so now Melech Malach HaMelech now it's pulling back. So everything here is a desire of his. We're in Shvira. We're in Shvira. If you want to say it, yeah, actually, if you move it up a little, you can totally say it. Oh, no, specific. Like that. That's perfect. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh, we're good. Now we're actually perfect. So, now we're starting to pull on the other side. Okay. Scattered, Oisias. Says Reb Nachman that, it's mamish necessary, right? Yeah. Okay, I guess it has to be this way. Fine, let's do it this way. Wow, it hurts. Finished. So, I think so. Actually, let me line up in front. You got like about in front. Leave it. Let's put about. Yeah, we're good. Alles good. Alright, dat is nog een bottle. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, says Rav Nachman that so Madav Brechen the Tavas so look that as the Tavas woman, but let's not get carried away with it because we need to make money, but in a different way. So he says that Tavas woman is that's the das was verstellt zwischen it's a very delicate thing, so I have to from Geld, people get very testy. It's not to be not to mission is da selling and da stacht and ganad and visa. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be very precise. So let me just say what he says. Yum bum 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 bum. 3 colors in the eyes. Tzeres, Sifa, Soirim, Svira. Yeah, who came this? That's Melechix. Yayin. Very nice. So Yayin is, so remember we spoke about what turns into milk when the mother feeds the baby. What turns into milk? It's the blood. That turns into, it's the dam tahirim, the high chasudim, and it turns into milk, the chalaf. So in the Mitzvah gang the Leide by Pesach, so there is dam, and then we count down 49 days. And by the time we get to that place, the dam, the blood turns into chalaf, it turns into milk, and that's why we eat milk shvuz. But what does it mean? That turns into, what does it mean? Shine averte. What does it mean? What it means is that the pain and the struggle that we're going through, that we're feeling, that is as this blood is turning into milk. Okay? Whatever pain you're feeling, remember, whatever it says here, Olam Asiyah, and it goes down, so it goes into the Ruach. How does the Ruach experience all this? How does the Ruach experience the blood turning into milk, into Chalaf? Experience it by feeling it, the emotions. Feeling different pains and different anxieties and all that. So as we process, and by the time we get to Shuas, we count it down 49, 7 times 7, 49. So it turns into the Challah, which means that we can, the more aware you are of it, the more in tune you are with it, that's the koyach that it happens at that time, if you process the whole thing. If you count the Sfira Zomer, 1 second. Why don't we count 50? We're still getting why we're not sleeping. Why we're not counting 1 second. Zoals het is niet. Dat is geld. Dat is een wie is wegen de geld. Er toch geen geld. Ja, doe eens. Schminis abres. Zo kwijt. But anyways, continuing. So Bashvi is let's go like this. For what sagt man is 50? Well, the 50th kamen is teilen. The 50th is something that doesn't make sense. That's the best word we can find here. So we're not counting it. Why? But what does that mean? It doesn't make sense. It means that it's always there. So we are counting 250 from 50. It says Chassidus. We're counting. The Alter Rebbe says this, that we are always in 50. Befrat from Pesach night, if you start counting, because we started counting the second night of Pesach. This I didn't see. I'm looking for it. The first night counts, because technically speaking, that's what it is. Without saying it, that's what it is. But I didn't see anywhere saying that the 50th took Haptachum from Pesach, but Pesach is the case here, is the Zachalayim. So that's what, remember, the big blast, and then there's a countdown from there. So Pesach is that moment. Okay, let's get real, fine. How much did we experience on Pesach? What did we experience on Pesach? What are we going to experience on Shavuos? And Is it just a Torah, like it's a shuttle? Right? What's going to change? What's going to happen over Shavuos night?
I wonder.
Is it possible to change? I mean, like, what's going to change? Beside it, but are we going to experience it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about it. That's exactly fine. Thank you. I want to go to. Let's get aware and mindful of where we're supposed to be aligned to. What do we have to be aligned to? What do we have to be aligned to? So, 1 second. I'm going to listen to it, but let's just see for a second. I don't know, I was just thinking, and I think the only thing I can come up with, and it hurts to say, but it's the only thing I can say, to be honest. Let me make Hagdom, so it doesn't sound like I'm trying to play like a thing. So, in my mind, it would be like, I don't know, you learn something and you get lost in an idea, and Chassidus and Tzitz, you're davening, davening 12 1, you know, it's Yantiv. Easy, you walk into 770 and the vibe is just the vibe. There's 1 tone, 2 tones, then a table, guys drinking already, screaming with Chassidim, and then another table, there guys that are just sitting there like, listen, we're just going to act like Mashiach is here right now. You know, like, this is about bottom already, sitting there just drinking, eating herring and screaming at each other, angry. And then you have 10 different tables lining Kriya and this and that meaning, and anyways. So fine, so there's more, because I didn't, you know, it's still not fully. Okay? The other option is to, what's the other option? You eat. And I think spending time with the family. You know, connecting to them, because it's the simcha. It's all in simcha. And it's not an easy one. It's much easier to learn on Maimer than to spend time with the kids. So, I think that's what it is. It's that simple. Spending time with your kid, fine, that too. That's for you.
So there's not enough Sh'vous Farbrengin?
Nicht? It's a container. That's a stippen. Yes. You're in or out, which is both are active. In is active and out is also active.
Why is out active?
What?
Why is out active?
Because you're missing. There's one ois that's missing. It's a circle, and then one ois checks out which is where we're going. The shvira of the oises. So Reb Nachman says that we're all oises. Reb Nachman Chassidus, that's what it is. We're all letters. That's how close we are to the desire. And there was a shvira, and I want to do something with that in a minute about the shvira. It's a little trippy, but I think we should do it. It's Gelt. He says that Muman is a level of. So when we go to sleep, it's called Salmoves. Anyways, we're dead. It's Choshech when you go to sleep. So he says Tavas Muman is also a Choshech. Okay, it's also a Choshech, and even Tavas Muman Bekedusha is also a Choshech, but that is a good Choshech. That's what it is. Okay, that's a good Choshech. That's where we're heading. That's who we want to be. So now, 1 second. So he says that by Shviyas Nach, when Sidu Azay's Galus from Kabul Satorah, where the Eibishter Ponim B'Ponim is talking to us, Anoich Hashem Elokecha, Anoich Hashem Elokecha. So we stay up to bring back these nefashos, to bring back all the oisies together. We're masaking the oisies of that. I don't remember if he goes in exactly like because we slept fine. We slept, but it's also been hijacked because we think like kids. So now we're punishing. So something happened there. Let's see if we can go there. Something happened there that we slept. Well, what do you mean they slept in? What happened? They slept in. I don't know. Huh? Disconnected? Yeah, but what does that mean? There were 3 days before Matan Torah. It's Matan Torah morning. Like, what happened? Was it a shock? Was it like fear? Fear? The slaves? They still have fear? Yeah.
There were 40 years in the middle of trauma, 40 years of middle.
And this is before the 40 years. This is very good, but that's what I said. They just came out of Mitzrayim. 210 years that we've been living like slaves. So mitamul, it's like what me? What this that? They didn't know how to process it. Then I guess they went to sleep.
Yeah.
It's like lights out. It's physically. They completely 1 second, but they completely surrendered. That was the only way to do it.
What?
They completely surrendered.
I was going to sleep surrendering. That's what I do when
You're right, but now we're turning it. This is going out of Mitzrayim. We're not crying anymore, but now we have to find the Hamtuk on it. So we know that we slept in. So now, okay, we checked out, whatever that means. But what's the Hamtuk in it? What's the positive on it? Is that we completely surrendered. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
It has a very logical explaining.
What?
It has a logical explanation.
I think that's what.
When you're rushing, you have to fly somewhere. You're rushing the whole day.
Yeah.
You're rushing. Okay, now you're all ready. You just need to lay down for 30 minutes, and you're good. Just need to lay 30 minutes. You're going out for 30 minutes, all of a sudden 2 hours later, where am I? Where I gotta go? Because you're ready. You're in a space that you're calm, you're present, you're waiting for the minute, and it's well knows Galashim. That's it. Na Kabbalah Torah Shinto.
So I spoke to Mara this week, and he said that he wanted to see how different people express. Like everybody here is a different type of machine, and how people see the same thing with their expression. And the way he said it, that's your expression. Because it's missing. I see it. It's not missing. It's a different. It doesn't go like the regular click. It's like this. You're skipping a few steps, 1 or 2. But that's how you process.
No, but it's a real thing that everybody goes in their life. They had such a moment where they lay down for 30 minutes, where they have to. And ze hebben overgehaald. Ze hebben versloten.
Right, I'm saying the way.
In Gashmis is een normale dag.
The way you're saying it shows how you process things. That's it. And for you, that's enough. So good, go for it. Some need a little more explanation what it means, a little more varmkeit in it. But you were like, look, so fine, go for it.
It's picture mind. I stelt some pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So they feeling in Gashmi is what a movie feels. Awesome. There must be that
but you're saying it's a picture. Are you feeling it, or are you seeing it as a picture? Because that's a big one. I actually had somebody did the work on me, and seeing, yeah. But then the question was, how do you feel? Can you feel it? And that's when it was like, whoa.
Bizachab, the picture is a feeling. And I weiß what the feeling is, but once I have the picture, it's so simple. Just match this and this.
Okay, so you're going back from the picture you're going back from the feeling to the picture.
Yeah.
You said it? Okay. It's small, tiny millions of fragments. That's how it's processed. So by staying up, but I want to look up the Nekida Mamash because I'm not present with it. For was Blamen of Schweers Nacht was steht that? Mumen. So this is how we're mavader that shina by staying up that night, Shavuos night, the Frat Shavuos night when there was Shvira. What did I say? Why is the Shvira in Atzeres? Saying like what's the connection that's the day that it's healing? Right? Okay, so it's healing because 50. We're counting down the midas, so we're turning in the chal of the blood into milk, which also Rav Nachman calls it yain v'cholav, and it's beautiful the way it brings it into vel. Sorry, yain v'cholav is, he says yain is the dam, basar v'yain. Okay, anyways, one is the blood and one is the milk. So it brings it into literally, you can see that you can have, sometimes you're heavy, you drink some wine and it becomes softer. It changes. Right? That's what he says. It changes, something changes. Energetically, you're not just drinking wine. You're drinking and there's an alteration. There's something alters, that's why it has to be, can be yain nesef, it has to be kosher wine, and because it's a mind altering thing. It opens up the heart, and for the material that we need to process, yain is the zach. Okay, it looks like it because that's what they did. They drank wine and mashka. And the Chabad processor is vodka. Diesel fuel. So that's what it is. So we are each letters, and when the oisies ganazach tazamikimen, that's when the more oisies come together, the more Mashiach is going to be here, and the more we're building the Beis Hamikdash. We can't see the full picture yet because we're still broken. There's still separation. But we're doing a good job, and also the makkahs that are coming is helping. So now you need to see the current events, what's going on. What's the big one there? The war and this and that and Korea, Russia, whatever that means. There's action going on, and while this is going on, there's changing the life. There's change happening, right? There's shifts happening. People are changing. I need wine.
So they're simply holding space for us to change, like all these wars basically just like the thing that's holding.
Very good. Good question. So
Because technically, who cares? And then like
well, let's
meaning.
fine. I'd like to say in the front and the left. And thank you. Yeah, it's good. Okay, I don't want to close it. So the Vat Lazoy. Look, there is wars happening right now. There's COVID happening right now. Did COVID affect you during? Yes. Okay. Everybody was confused, didn't know what was going on. Is the war affecting you? The war in Russia.
No.
But for the person that watches the news and is busy with it, it's affecting him.
No.
And COVID also had different effects on different people.
If you were watching, right.
Okay, different on different people. So when you're saying they're holding space, we're manifesting it. We're creating it. The people they're creating this because they're holding space for it. It's feeding a certain fear. It's feeding a certain clicker. And they spend millions of dollars to keep people, billions, to keep people occupied in that game. Everybody's TV at home, they're writing you out. They tell you exactly how you're supposed to feel and what you're supposed to do. You know, it's being fed, not like conspiracy theory. It's a consciousness. It's a clicker that's alive. And by seeing it now, if you don't pay attention to it, then you're weakening it. So the same way, if you're not paying attention to the war in Korea and in Russia and Ukraine, because you're not holding space for it, and it doesn't affect you at all, the same way anything and everything happening in your current life is only there because you're holding space for it. If you stop holding space for it, then it's going to go away. Let's talk about it. Wishes. I mean, this is Rav Nachman, right? Whatever. There's a lot going on. I don't have that much time now to just sit and prepare, so I learn everything. So the kids at Amaisa. So what? Oh no, that's not from there. Okay, fine, done. Okay. So everything that you're holding space for, the only thing that's in your life is what you're holding space for. The only problem is, which means that if Sidrikt some episode give, something is not good in front of you, something is triggering you in front of you, you're holding space for it. There's a certain pain that you carry as a child, we carry as a child, or a certain judgment that somebody told you, you're holding space for that, and that shows up like that, to feed that type of low frequency within yourself. You follow?
Yeah.
So, the problem is so good, so not changing. Let's change it. The problem is that there are certain tightnesses that you're not aware of. We're not aware. It's a blind spot. It's like relax your toes, relax your knees, your stomach, and then relax your shoulders. Oh, wasn't even aware. Relax your eyes. My eyes have tension too. Everything. We're not even aware of the tightness that we have. So too energetically, we're not even aware what you're holding. That you're holding space for it. And guess what? And take out guess what. And what else is that we're so programmed that we're triggering each other and we can't help ourselves. He walks in 7, 8, 9, 14, 12, 13, 18, 20, judgments, it's a kimtaran, and we're stuck. Right? Because if I let go, that person comes on too much, so everybody's just holding and they keep pumping more fear, so everybody's getting tighter in this. And then the low frequency food, which feeds low frequency conversations, it pulls you in, right? Like a person, whatever, no judgments. Certain chemicals that you eat cause people to do certain things that they wouldn't do if they don't eat that. On every level. So, where do we let go from? The problem is that we don't know first where the tightness is. So the first thing is, if you feel a certain trigger, immediately know that this is where you need to let go of. Know that that's where you're stuck. That's what you're feeding. And remember, that trigger is going to show up, it's the same trigger, it's going to show up in different places in different colors. At home it looks this way. I have an issue with this. At work I have an issue with that. And in my work, with the person I work for, with the clients, whatever it is, click. And everywhere, on every color, at every level, as you change, as you move the lens, it changes the picture, it changes the color. So that can be used to the advantage by, now you know, whatever I can't pick up at home, because fine, my wife really, she's the problem. Good, let's go with that. It's too close to us, it's Asmi Besuri, it's your reflection, it's too close to see it, to admit. So now you can see it. The same thing shows up between the friends. The same thing shows up at work. So now you have it. You know where your blind spot is. So once you see it, how to let go of it. We're not getting technical here. It's not a workshop. But one thing we know is what the Chassidish Sfurim are telling us is Shvius. Shvius is going into level 50, which is from where all the possibilities are possible, which means, as we explained before, that he's B'tachas Apshitas, and it reflects off the way, we'll do another one from bottom up, it reflects off the way he wants to be expressed in Welt. And really, we have from bottom up, we have Bechira, which means that we get to create how he should reflect here in Welt. I think to be a Ben Melech is a small thing. Access to everything, anything. We create our own destiny. I'll just say other brias also, but the way we speak Lushon HaKodesh. It's a whole different. It's the creation that creates the yesh me'ayin, not a yesh me'yesh. Something out of nothing.
Sometimes it's the problem.
Ach, I know it, but that's why we first have to get healed, because we're sick. We have to heal. Our minds are sick.
No, because you put a limitation on your mind.
1 second. Let me just finish the thought. I'm on a shtickle flow. I want to come back to it. Yes, I hear what you're saying. We're healing. It's fine, but we're healing from that. The mind is a sick thing. It's right here. Click. We have helmets. Imagine who we are if we don't have this thing that you feel when you look at each other. Like as if I'm looking at you or you're looking at me. Like imagine that's the sickness. That's the sickness. I mean, I'm saying it. We have to work it. But if you remove that, the thing that sees, that thinks that, oh, I'm seeing him, I'm seeing you, you're seeing me, then we're just present. We're just right there. That's the ruach, that's the spirit, and that's where we're going. That's what we're doing a bitter for. Ma'arbetos, the oir, the sandal, that's why we're not wearing shoes on Kippur. This is Hillsvart. I mean, he's Chassidus, but he said it. So, we're almost done. The pasha that separates the illusion is almost like the snake skin is almost all worn out. So that's number one. Looking back up, so since this is B'tachas Apshitas, this thing has all the possibilities, and it's just a flat, it's nothing that you can imagine, so you can mirror back anything that you want. But as long as we're hostage on the Paroi, every thought that you have, he draws from. Because now you're under his, there's a helmet, there's a mechitza, there's a separation. So we're going through a filtration system. So you don't have a clear thought. Every thought that we have is channeled through pain and through fahaktkat and all that. Jealousy, it's the snake. It has eyes all over the skin. It feels and it sees on every part. So Shriya is going into the becoming, not imaging back, like you said, not going into Oisius. That's during Sfira, but now Shriya is not going into the Oisius. We're going into Keser, Shita is nothing, just that thing that reflects back. Like there's an absolute yichud between us and Kitzurich and Shkinte. So we're going into the thing that is expressionless. How do we go in there? With Malchus, full color, here in Veld. Like we processed 49 days of resistance. Like these tzenoides were hard, sa'odim of resistance, and then the resistance that you experienced is only there to wake up the 49 points within the body, the energy body, in Ruach. Right? Again, this is pushing, and then slowly this finger moves, this finger moves, this finger moves. Right? Before his support is on this, he's pushing up against him, and then he bends back, he pushes back, because some days during Surya it was very intense. And then slowly he lets go, and now you're standing in your energy body. He just woke up the energy body, which you would never be aware of because we're so deep in physicality and climate. Pari put us in such deep cement that we would never be able to pick up this level of subtlety. Yeah? Clue? Nish clue? Clue to some? Nish clue. Okay. If this thing, let's just say this thing is it, my right hand is just sitting here. Okay? It's like that. It doesn't move. It holds steady. It's supported. It's fine. It comes here, a massive explosion, Pesach night, which shatters this whole stiffness, this illusion of this arm being stiff, because why should this thing be Chomer Levanim? Because he's so stuck in and stress and all that, and tireless, whatever it is that was his behemoth that he had to deal with, that he's stiff. Massive explosion Pesach night, and then comes right away the end. This comes out. The explosion that happened Pesach night, second night Pesach, it's removed and it doesn't. The light goes away. Okay. So what happens is the minute the light goes away, remember the mushal we gave with the icicles. Like if you imagine a big bomb falls on the beach and it cuts out 100,000 square, whatever it is, a huge space. And then the next morning comes a big magnet and pulls it right out. Now you see the shape all over in the sand from the lack of the void of this metal that's missing. So now you have, here it is, this thing is holding, Pare is holding us stiff. The right side, which is our energy body, the more creative mind, the Chachma and the high conscious beings, and he wrapped us into Chaimet. And we're fully stiff. Comes the first night, Pesach, and there's a massive explosion which explodes this whole Chaimet. And we wake up. You had a breakthrough, whatever that looked like to you. Yeah, wake up, come in, sit down. You had a breakthrough, okay? You woke up the first night, but immediately as this thing is moving, as this thing is pulling out, the light is pulling out, the magnet is pulling out, what comes in its place right away gets hardened with the midas are back. The 49 sweetest are here, okay? Because it's filling a void. But now he has no bite anymore because there was a massive explosion. You had 8 days to create distance between you and all your problems. So you had a moment to think. And now when he comes at you, you're already prepared now. You're learning Torah's Chassidus, which teaches us the language about how to get out of Lulas. And you're prepared. You know what to look out for. You see him creeping back up, and you start seeing it. And now, as you bring awareness to it, it keeps falling down. It's like dust. It's particle all over. It turns into particles. It turns into dust. It goes away. But now, what happened is that it shaped the energy body. It shaped the ruach. Because every day, as this other side, your challenges were pressing on, the yain, the sa'oirim, the dam was pressing on because this is dam. It flows in the veins of our existence. This is just a cover, a mannequin, but really there's a whole thing going on behind this, which is the ruach. You can experience it if you go to the Schwitz, because Erev Shabbos you have to go to, right, Ma'am Chaim. Why? If you go to the Schwitz for a minute and then you go under the hot water in the mikveh, you hear the pulse. The veins are inflated, everything is right. When you go into the Schwitz, you can feel it. So that heat fights off the klippah. That's what it says in the Surah. I didn't make it up. Ma'am Chaim, yeah, either of us does. It's a fact it takes away the klippah.
Often the connection between the Rochnis and the Spheres and the Gashmis.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. But once I want to first go to Shvias. So, you follow what I'm saying already or not yet? Okay, it's very simple. If I push, this thing pushes, and this thing pushes like this. And this thing, since the right side has bittul, because this is the kava yamin, and you have some achnua, and instead of sitting there and fighting, you're like, okay, where can I better myself? Where can I surrender over here? Say, straighten out, communicate here. You know, right? You're working with it. You're not stuck in your head like, well, I'm not budging to anybody. Like the big country, like I'm not. You know, there is all that cheshbonis, but you're surrendering to it. As you're surrendering, you become more now after here, you worked out your chesed. B'shinish to the highest, b'shinish to the gefeilach. You're holding your chesed. You're holding your gevura. You're holding your. Now you have the balance at the feres, and you're holding it. After 7 weeks, you are fully in energy body, because you're in touch with your emotions. You just processed 49 days every day. Chesed shebenet, chesed shebechesed, gevura shebechesed, netzach shebehoid. Whatever that means, on whatever level you did it, or if you just counted. That's it. You counted it. So you made the bracha and the energy came down. The way you needed to count it. Come Shvias, now that's the Shechina. Come Shvias, there's a yichud between Kitche B'richa Shechinte. Which means that we're going into the place where the possibilities are coming from. And that's why we're staying up Shavuos night, because we want to overcome the most. We're tapping into the most hakelest awareness that there is. So, like you said, the moment is a case of is a shina, sleepiness, and even in case of the kedusha. But with case of the kedusha, he says once again that you're he has the pusik for it, that we're mekasher this world the way it's supposed to be. So tapping into making money from a place of flow, whatever that looks like, that's where it's supposed to be. It can't come from a place of pain. Yes.
It's a simple answer. Als in de andere tzaddikim hebben gezegd dat that's the way to get to the highest point. Dus niet dat was opgemaakt.
Which way?
De opzaan bij nacht en zoeken de tikkun is a tool
Yeah.
that you get to the highest point knowingly, consciously, unconsciously. But if you do that, I guarantee you go to the highest places.
Sure, but over here we're like want to really feel and understand it. And thank you for saying that, because that reiterates that you want to go into the experience, not just
You don't understand, right?
you know. You said it, okay,
Yes, ma.
okay.
Probeer eens op te zeggen, deze maand leren, I'll do that. Okay, if you don't feel like it, fine. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Basically, it's just a celebration for the end of the 50.
It's a celebration. No, we're not working that day, because yet till the Arbeit geendigt. There's no more work. All the work that we're doing throughout the year, throughout the week, is to process the 49 mitzvahs. We're not really working to whatever. We're bringing without the uncertainties. So come Shvius, there's no work. Right? Remember something. We are okay. Let's go like this. Yeah, it's also connected to Shabbos, we said last week. The body, Selchaim. Yeah. Okay, the body is. This thing is projected into. Oh, yes. Hi, Murphy. Hi, Andul. Forgot the first name. Shema. Good to see you. And Zahas, how you doing? Okay, fine. Welcome. Your friend? Okay. So the how's it going? You understand? Huh? What's that?
More or less.
Okay. So even if you don't understand, this is not something that you have to understand. You just have to feel. Just tune into the moment. So this body is projected with massive electricity, with energy. And yeah, when I was saying it, then this body is also being projected infused with a desire programmed in, that has in it, in the DNA, as this light is shining, it has an Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and we have certain qualities, very powerful qualities that is connected to the highest level of Creator, which is Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes. Now, throughout the week, we are in kind of like in Golus, in Mitzrayim, and we're being fed. The lights come through as it shines. It's like laser beams. As it shines on the body, it comes through. We did this, the Pisha and the heart, the four Tachim was coming out from the three that comes out from Mitzrayim. So we're being fed through from these lights, from these energies, which is red, and it's dark, it's different, low frequency, but we have no choice. So in order for you to speak and get your message across, you're moving like this, okay? You're not really breathing, you can't really see. You see like that, you can't really see because it's so intense. When we go into Shabbos, then this light turns off. We spur the kopa aluven, they all go in, of the cup from the klippa, and he runs away because the light is too strong. And then Erev Shabbos is good not to speak. That's why people get in sometimes to arguments in home with their spouses, because the energy is very intense and Shabbos is like a bubble. Shabbos is a bubble, and that's why we don't want to speak divrei chol. You don't want to speak. Reb Nachman guarantees if you don't talk business on Shabbos, you will have money. Torah Niyan Ches. So this. So this bubble is that's a Shabbos. So when you speak something, you can be walking. You walk into Shabbos. You're taking Shabbos on time. You have to take it in on time. Make sure the candles are lit on time, and you go into that Shabbos bubble. And if you walk in from that space, then you're protected. You can have a regular Shabbos. But if somebody says something, then if the air comes polluted, and now you're ready to schlepp sich schon on. So you got to be, that's what Rav Nachman says, Lushan HaKodesh, that you know how to speak in your full body, in every body part, you know how to speak Lushan HaKodesh. What that means is you know how to respond. Okay? So, Shabbos, it shuts off. Shabbos, because we're in a different conscious. We're in a different space. We're in a different zone. So do Manicha. Bu Shabbos, Bu Manicha. So do Manicha Shabbos. And there's no push for the work. You're not allowed to work because that's when we are working. The ganze Woche we're putting in the coals in the bottom of the oven to heat up the world. Ma'arbetem to bring in energy. Shabbos is like, don't bring megunish. I rest today. So I don't want that type of energy. I want the peaceful energy. It's which means you can walk around in the middle of in a day that you have no stress. And Dogen Kim Yom Tovim is the similar thing but a different energy. It comes from a different place. It's from a different consciousness. It comes from a different level. Shabbos we go into Kesser, and then Yom Tov is Simcha. It's Bina Chachma. We'll probably go into Kesser too. So we are in Kesser. There's the yichud between Kitzurich and Shchinte. So Shvius is a similar thing, and I think it's this Hayan Yom. I think so. I'm assuming it's not Hayan Yom. What's today? Today is Tuesday, right? Okay. כשסתפלו במאי הגבולה קודם ערב חג השביעיס לא הסי רוח עדיין אובי מוירי ורבי הרש"ב נויכם הזה the Rebbe Rashab the Fili Diga bezoekt of the Rebbe Rashab if somebody anitzach geschnitten behur in the Shloishes Maya Gbula, which is the 3 days leading up to Shvi'is, which the regular oil schnatzach schon lo hoiserich adayin uvi moiרי the Rebbe Rashab but he didn't like it, so over here they cut Erev Shvi'is am ein bishut the subot the Ramaschal Torah Shabbos Yuvan, Shechag HaShavuos is man Eisirutzen, Lamala. The Yom Tov Shavuos is man Eisirutzen. Hashem Yisburach matet es HaMakatrik al Am Yisrael. And the Hashem Yisburach neemt weg the Makatrik from the Yiddish kinder. Macht him to it. He makes him busy. So, I don't know, expect stuff to happen. Macht him busy, so he's busy with other stuff, whatever that looks like. Kedigmas hat dutze b'shas hat kiyz b'rosh hashuna v'yom hakurish the tzom kippurim. That in Shvi'is is the Hashem Yisburach, which is the Hashem Yisburach, which is Bashaft, that Eibishter, that place that via Bashaft. Macht busy the Makatrik. Azovi bat Kiyah Shofer, which is the highest time. Kiyah Shofer in Yom HaKudosh in Tzom Kippurim. That's what Shvi'is is about. So we're going into a place where you can go into absolute stillness. You can go into absolute stillness on Shvi'is. So do we know why we're not sleeping in Shvi'is?
Ja, we dachten, wat gehad beschimmels voor ons, en Lieden,
Yes.
So, sicher dan maar aus, man darf machen mehr Platz für High Conscious. Mit dem, was man bleibt auch, machen mehr Platz.
Very good. That's his way of seeing it. But that's the beauty. Yeah, good. Samach Tov Ma'atin. Sinish Tavartels is like, that's how your machine sees it, and you share that. And now it gives us all, to me, it's a nuance. His thing was a nuance. It's like it's a new. It's like, oh, interesting. It's another way, another awakening.
My point is as jeden is stuck of the story with him verschlafen. Don't be stuck on the story. Look at the bigger picture. In Zahlen sind wir den ganzen Tag. Das ist wie es war. Man kann es auch nicht hören. Es ist okay. Schlafen ist kann.
Ja.
Dann geht's
Ich habe es angefangen.
What?
Ich habe es angefangen. Ich habe es gedreht. That's my way of looking at it. Chaim. It's tobacco, don't worry. Wat dat broer zal kimmen, dat kan samen opzegeren. So Blapto Shviz, yeah, turn it over. So where do we need to be Shviz? So fine, you need to feel it. Chidush B'nefesh, right here, center of the chest. What Chidush B'nefesh is, it's bone dry. It just is. Because if it's still, in the stomach, in the teferes, you're already tangled up in things. Like you said, you're already limiting it. You're already putting it into oases. I said so, and he said, she said otherwise. It becomes a little, but it's avodah. But Shvius is the Hashem Yisborach is matra de makatra, which means that you can go into absolute just power, just feeling present. Shvius, when I eat Matan Torah, I'm receiving the language that he speaks. That's the language he speaks. That's his language. That's the language our Bashafa. That's the language that he communicates. That's how everything was created. You want to know what's going on in the Pentagon, like down on the deepest cellar? Do you understand what's going on? That we have the highest coding. You can code anything you want. I'm saying that's where we could. It's work. We're working on it. We're still... Hold on a second. Let me say it like this. Wow. When am I going to be able to write my story? When am I going to be able to write the way I want it to be? You're writing it right now. Whatever you're seeing, whatever you're feeling right now, we are writing that story. If I have struggles and I have temptations and I have, whatever, I am writing that story.
I hope it's only the beginning of the story.
Of course, it's already the end. We're going out. I mean, it's Shnas Hakel. Yeah, toiv. It's playing out. In Malchus, and that's exactly. It's like, in other words, if you want to get a little trippy with it, it's Matan Torah is happening right now. It's just that in this consciousness, it's like, right? It goes like a pendulum. It goes in and out, and then finally it's gonna be ponim because we chap the full clap, and we're finally chapping it. Like, oh, this is where I need to be. This is the center. I'm becoming mindful of it. We went into Gulas. It was part of the program. Why was it part of the program? Not because it's pain. It was part of the program because that's what we needed in order to wake up.
So they need to always on the street.
Say it, yeah.
Dit geen weg of ze kunnen op on.
How?
You're up.
What are you? Everybody's participating. Like what's your cheesecake? What's your milchi gesida? That should be it. That's the milchi gesida. What's your chap and how are you gonna do the punim on Shvius?
We're up all night.
We're
up all night.
Okay.
From strachten, we can strachten.
Fine.
It's limitless.
You're going at it.
Because once you think this was for you, the maximum limit that's bis dort nicht trachten.
No, but this is schon gesagt für jeder hat sich an Blick, was seit es. But the darfst das kannst du sagen I'm there. But you're not there. So er sagt, okay, the fact that ich bin off, also hat man gesagt, das Tier, click, fine, done. He has his, huh?
Mir auch nicht der so hat man gesagt. Das Ding.
Very good. So that's why you have to bring a bidder to that kav. You have to find a path to your way to activate your eyes. The way you going to see Punim Babunim.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
When you just said that Hashem is putting away the kitrik, that I'm like, wow, this guy is good, and I fell in love with him right away. When you said that, I'm like, that's where my shvius is being at all night. I'm going into love with him because you built it up in a way that, look how good he is. He knows that a whole year we're struggling like maniacs with this guy in our face. He's making him busy. So that shows so much love and care that, okay, boom, I'm going to be up with you a whole night.
Good.
Wow.
Busy to do what?
Busy what?
You make
What are
him
you gonna
busy.
be able to do when he's busy?
Why?
You're not gonna have
gonna
the
have
regular
a-
temptations and the
I'm
regular
not gonna have
stress
what I
that
have
you
all
have.
day, so it's already
He's pulling
a
him
new
away.
thing. I'm like, wow.
He has a certain coil, but now he's distracting him and he's pulling him fully. He's Hana Kalba the Chatziva, like he's changing his focus, and he's stuck somewhere over there in Ukraine or
So he's
Russia.
gonna be there, but what I'm gonna be here.
Oh, you're going to be able to just have, if maybe it's drinking wine and being besimcha. Simple.
Die zoekt voor effect als ik uit de wegnemen en zeggen.
Dat is dat yum yum.
Nee.
That's a yum yum.
That's what he said.
And it's okay. And it's as real as each and every one of us want to make. That's what we said before. How do you want to reflect it? Of course, we all want the most powerful way. That's why we're talking.
What is she?
So you can be the most effective. You can take the most advantage of this day that when there is no kitrik. Instead of being busy, yeah, but guess what? Tomorrow I'm back to my same chazara, and yesterday Amulay comes and he's like, well, last year was the same thing. Okay, you want to stay in victim, but no, he changes his focus, so you have all the irregular botherers are not going to be there. And if they are going to show up, this time you're going to be like, now I get it. Yet zeg what he got food. Okay, l'chaim. I don't care.
It's work. It's a lot of work.
No, but now it has no biting. You're not in it. Now you're able. You stopped it. You slowed it down. It's slowed down so much that when it comes, you're like, then I'm not going to get triggered by this. I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm just going to say l'chaim, and I'm going to go. And I'm just like, boom. That's your. And when you feel that, that's when your mom is face to face with your creator right here. Like you're able to let go of anything. It just means that you can sustain life without paying tax to Pare, without getting angry, without having any type of judgment. Which during the week it's not possible. You're in the body.
What is she is more than Kabbalah soul? Kabbalah's on the Torah as in.
You're asking what is she's more than Kabbalah said? Kabbalah said? The Shvius is all about Nasa V'Nishma, Kabbalah said. And that's the second piece on Friday is that every nation he asked, the famous thing, we staan met de Torah, ze hebben gevraagd, wo staat in de Torah? Lei Signov, nish famir, lei Sitzach, nish famir. What does that mean? That means that he didn't really go knock on his door, do you want to take the Torah? Torah was circling around, going through, shining, and is checking. This guy, immediately he felt Torah is like, I can't tolerate this. This is lei Sinov, lei Sitzach, lei Sachmed. It's my essence. It's a klippah. That's what I hold. I can't. Immediately there was a clash. All right. And when it came to us, he said he put the What does that mean? He didn't force us. Of course, there was bechira there. He woke us up to our level of yichida that we have, our level of oneness that we have, that we can surrender to. He pressed until we're like, surrender. I can do lo sitzach, lo sinel, v'signal, v'sana, 613, 248, and 365 lo sesa, 248 eser, machmitzas eser, shasumitzas lo sesa. I can fully align with that, fully surrendered, and then click. That's the giving the yichid, and that's when he came onto the mountain. So when we said Nasa V'Nishma was a level of that we have within us, a level of surrender that you can surrender and you can surrender and apply to everything that he says, all the less and the s's, which is automatically get us out of the clueless, because the clueless are also, remember, an energy, different lens, different picture, different color. So every clueless that is connected a mitzvah and something. So if you align yourself with that, then automatically he can't touch you. I'm the one that creates everything, and if you align right here, then you can't be touched in that garbage. So the level of surrender, the level of emunah, that is and then on top of everything is simcha.
So he is sent away, so I can.
All that, yes,
properly?
yes. And
He forced us.
he didn't force. He gave the pressure, and you're able to surrender to no matter what was coming. You're able to surrender and say, try to see the positive in it and see the light in it. Bring the light into it.
Like else he pushed, when
No,
else he went around.
it's when like the bar created a bubble, and terwijl like ins the ability to surrender and to surrender Geschmack davon.
Yeah, but
Aber man sagt, jetzt kommen
what's the problem sein?
Let me get enough times before we go there. Before you go to their problems, let's solve our
So he
problems.
said he went
No,
around
first
with
was
the
not
light.
Because their DNA was not aligned with that. They have sitzach. They needed tzich. Without tzich is out of business. He doesn't exist anymore. He needed to do that. Why? Because that's
No,
his.
so then what's the whole spiel?
There's no spiel.
The Chatzila,
So we should become aware of ourselves, because he's our king. He wanted us to see ourselves. So by creating opposite, we're creating these opposite images on every place that we need to wake up to. To use my taivas to him, to use my chokhmah for him, to everything gets activated. My chesed, to become mindful that he's giving. Everything that we're doing, left side gevura, everything that we're doing, teferes, everything that we're doing is to align ourselves with him.
We don't have a sitzach, or we just said that we're gonna.
1 second. 1 second. Well, of course we have loy sitzach, but our loy sitzach means something else. You have that fire to.
No, we have sitzach when we said we're not gonna do it.
What do we have sitzach? We said we're not going to do it. 1 second. So we have the. You need to switch the way you see this. You are not forced in here and you're being threatened. You are here, and as a result of your existence, you are triggering things that you are triggered to things that are steered to them. That we are our fire, our light is a trigger to them. So automatically it's triggering you, but now the mind is what makes it about me, when really we're triggering them. I'm not the problem. This thing is just leeching onto me. Why is it leeching onto me? Because I'm a threat to him. I'm an absolute opposite connected him. Because this frequency is an automatic contradiction to loy sirtzach, loy sinach, or whatever else is going on. So he comes and he tries to grab you. By becoming present, Sh'vus night, you become fully present with self. You become absorbed in self. Through simcha and through wine and through whatever it is that you're doing, that's when you fight them off. And now, since he's already pulling him away because he's distracting him,
Can't find from the whole dash is enough that night. Stay up.
listen, you do what you do, of course. Listen, it's not you stay up for an hour, you stay up for a half hour, you stay up and you drink. I mean, I've seen that too. Of course, you should learn Torah and say tikkun, but if you stay up and mindful talk, Torah, for as long as you can. questions? Okay, thank you. Zeklau Godoy Batoiro Ve'yahaveto L'reyacho Kumoicho Zeklau Godoy Ahoy Batoiro Dein Chaveru Ozoi Bidin Alei Hab lieb dein Chaveru Ozoi Bidin Alei Vedi Allem will get sein Yum. Yum. Hey, yum. Zeklau Gadoy Batoyo Hab lieb dein Chaveru Ozoi Bidin Alei Hab lieb dein Chaveru Ozoi Bidin Alei is how we prepare for Shavuos. Getting present and turning into it. You guys are showing it. Okay. Huh?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So, what is happening in Shavuos? Is Matan Torah and you can accept the Torah again? Or
Good question.
it's happening in you that you can be Makabel again? Or
Not again, on a whole new level. Like we're finishing a cycle. We're finishing a cycle, which means that we left home, expansion, work, distractions, pulled away, and now we're going home. Shavuos is the time that we go to base. You're up? Du kannst einfach nur in the back. A shiny backyard. Ik hoop dat je niet de extension for the lights. Ik kan er wel like on light. That is Shavuos.
is the opposite of Pesach?
No, it works in correspondence to Pesach. Pesach is the planting the seed, and then Shavuos is when you're coming back with Dana Peklik. Like you figured out, you know what you need to do in order to be there.
Yeah, but Pesach is Sarisa Vasata, whatever.
Pesach is Sarisa Laiva.
Laiva.
Yep, which means that we get everything from on top. Anyways, and now you work through it, which means that
so
now.
Shavuos, when I show up,
Yeah, you don't show up like a beggar, like Pesach, where they see they're like, what's a vegetin do, we got some bamach, this is bam shvuger, this is by the fete, by the zayde, by the tati, Shavuos, like you put in the work, it was zalum chit me the man.
So I show up ready to be Makabel.
How to show up? Simply by complying, being present, exactly. Everybody shows up different than the same.
But the job is to show up to be Makabel Torah.
Yes. To be Makabel the Torah, what the Torah means. Let's see, for that I have to go to the Rebbe. Let me see what the Rebbe says. The Rebbe is saying that the Malachim zogen Kudash. Jedes Mal zogen Kudash nimmt es 4 Schuhe, bis sie kommen zurück zu sich. Here's the Gatwa. Jedes Mal der Malach zogt Kudash, Malachim Chol, Malachim Vel zogt Kudash, he goes out. He loses himself. He doesn't know what's, and then he comes back to himself. What does that mean? Fine, Bina, all that thing, but let's see what the Rebbe is saying. We're going to go to the Rebbe, let's see what the Rebbe says. Let's see, we're going to try to see what the Rebbe says. Is it chilled, Harry? Is it chilled? How many are on Zoom? What? 7, okay. Yes.
Basically, die ganze Sache ist nur auf der Strang mit der Avoide. Bist nicht gezogen der Avoide. Gibst du gar nicht Shavuos?
I was just going to ask that question. What happens if you don't do the avodah? if you missed, you didn't put in the work, can you still step up?
Don't worry, you're hitting him like soft. You have to hit him in the head.
And seriously, what happens if you don't really work so hard? Basically, with here, you got the
Pass
idea.
das te gewoon stehen, pass but keeps
Exactly, so you got it,
Do
but
the
then you
follow.
didn't work through your issues. You just got busy with yourself.
This question is coming from the machine, the mind. It's not a real question.
Follow us.
1 second. Don't take it so serious. Breathe. Okay. Told you were hitting him soft. You gotta hit him hard, right in between the eyes. Listen, nice.
Nog een ding.
Nog een ding, maar nee, nog een zwaar ding met dit. So the word is zo. What happened by Toyu, in Olam Toyu, what happened is that, and this is what I said, I want to share something. I said it before when you asked the question. Something interesting. In Olam Toyu zijn ik ben de sfeer is Osgalan, de middes. Dus de sfeer, nou zo'n kan sfeer is gaan naar midden. Dus ik ben Chabad, Chachma ben Das. They were always holding calm. They never lost themselves. They were always holding head. So I'm giving people who the boss is. What does that mean? Chesed was fully in himself. He couldn't hold himself back. Full Chesed. Gevira was full Gevira. Feres was full Gevira. It automatically collapsed once Chesed and these two didn't hold themselves. Which means that there was so Vayimas Vayamlach Vayamas, the Malachim, the Sheva Malachim in Parshas Bereshit, and geboren and gestorben, means they expired. They went Ein Sof. But what does that really mean? Yeah, it's a little out there. Right, but since Chat GPT is online, so I guess we can discuss it. Right, it's not fair that they can get all trippy and we can't. No, it's like they're doing all that crazy stuff, trippy stuff, a machine that's becoming a human, so to speak, but we're not allowed to talk with this because then you're talking out of, it's too trippy. It's like CNN. They're allowed to Schmitz, but then if you come on, he's being unprofessional. He's being too aggressive. A politician doesn't talk to this. So you have to, please. No, it's not polite, right? This is how they want. It's mamish klipa, yeah. So the thing is that they're saying that it's going to become so smart that there's going to be a battle between it and us. It's going to challenge us, right? Let's just say, stop. That's your mind right there.
Nee, dat ben ik.
The mind.
Doe ik je niet gaan aan de picture.
Nee, dat is de mind. Wow, dit is bestier.
Nee,
Ja,
dat is niet
okay.
Dat is geen de mind.
So we get to the mindset. It's a battle as to what's real. What's real? How many pieces within us? Yeah. How many pieces within us is claiming to be the real thing? How many of the middas are saying, I am the real thing? And that's the klippa. It doesn't know what the truth is. Okay? So, the mind still thinks that he is doing something, and he's not doing something. Really, we're always in action. We're doing automatically. But the mind is telling me that I'm doing and I'm not doing. He's hijacking. Remember, you're going through a filtration system. Which means that as you're doing something good, it's already questioning if you were doing something. Which means that you think that you're doing something. Therefore, you're asking, what if I didn't do the right job? That means that I'm not having Kabbalah Satara. So that is the mind, because really, what's happening is that you can't do anything that it's not its will of doing. It's doing its thing. It's only the mind that the reliance that makes me judge it. That I do it, not do it, because what's the real thing? The malachim were questioning themselves. The Yimlach Vayamas, like, you're the dream, you're the machine, I'm the real thing. You're the machine, I'm the real thing. This machshava is the real thing, because if you knew exactly where to go, you wouldn't have a struggle. If you know the directions is to go right, left, center, whatever it takes, this is where I need to go. I can cry till tomorrow. It's muddy, or there's holes, or whatever. I got to get to the other side. The problem is that you don't know where to go. Aked this Avram, all of a sudden, it's not just a simple task. Like, where am I going? What's the real thing? There was not even a hitter. It was exactly to the point. Anyways, not to get into that because we're far removed from that. But you can't not do. The question is only the mind is coming in and puts you in the suffix. So as I'm in the suffix, I'm like, am I really connecting? Am I not really connecting? That's the suffix. It starts building already. But if you understand, you surrender, and that's the koich of Shvius. Not in Torah, that you fully surrender that there is nothing else but it. We're all pieces of Erev Sh'vous sitting over there. One. Fine.
Ik kan terug mijn question gaan. Jede morgen nog verbrengen over de question. Wat was dat met die mind?
What was what?
Wat was dat voor die mind?
Wow.
Dat draait nog naar elkaar.
Oei.
Okay. We can answer it, or we can answer it very simple. The whole thing with the Sphira, that's exactly it. It's to wake us up where the mind is. It's to wake us up. First, it's the mind is here to wake me up of my qualities, where it's at, to the point where you're going to be like, oh, why do I need this mind? But now you're awake. You know where yes, the vice versa. So first the mind is waking us up, and in Sphira we're waking up to the mind, and we know what to let go of. So you can either look at it that way, you can look at it that from the Matan Torah, or you can look at it that we surrendered fully. Like the Hakahigis, you put like the mountain on top of the head, and we fully surrendered. You follow?
Ik versta Jens, maar ik heb niet aan mijn mind.
No, one second, let me start with them again. 1 second.
Das ist doch ohne Mind jetzt.
1 second.
Die mind gibt die ganze Zeit zurück. Jetzt können wir nicht keine Sachen umdrehen, aber morgen zufrieden zurück da.
1 second, hold on 1 second. That's a mulek. That, not you. The thing, we're calling it out, right?
What's in mind?
Yeah, because right now, forget about what's going to happen tomorrow. I know that tomorrow we're going back into the work. We have to land. That's the $1 billion question. Every miner from the Alter Rebbe had to go. If I was a gedav dan a shumaruk in the wind, you read the Tzorich Aliyah. What's Aliyah? We're gonna have the hechte plat. What's machten? What's Aliyah? Daf is dan Aliyah. You get me not read. Why are you putting me through this mess? This pain, the illusion of pain, and all that. But it always comes back that we can only get to a certain level. If I'm in the water and I'm just one with the water, I'm not even aware that I'm water. But if I take the fish out of the water, he becomes very mindful that he needs water immediately, and he knows exactly where to appreciate the water. We are also in the tank. We're in the fish tank, and the yabasha. And this is what it looks like in the yabasha. It looks like chomer levena. So the mind that was here to, it's like a cat. Did you ever put on this, they have the game that you put on and you see the 3D, like the image, the game?
VR.
The VR, yes, exactly. I experienced it last week, first time. It's pretty cool. I got nauseous after 5 minutes. Not nauseous, but it's pretty interesting. I can only imagine if I can do a good boxing fight over there, like something like that. Like how real it is, you can go to the Besamidas from there. It's to wake us up to that.
Ich könnte noch mal appreciaten, man kann sehen 2 Minds eins. Ist am heute gesagt.
Well, I like it, but what are you saying? Saying as I'm watching that?
Nein, ich krieg die ganze Zeit wegen seinem Mind.
Ich sehe mal, ich realize, mein Mind dreht mich ab.
Der Mind dreht dich ab. So, seht ihr schon 2 Minds, du. Zu identifieren, dass du 2 Minds, ist schon ein großer Step.
Das ist ein Mind, das ist schon...
Es ist schon die 2 Minds.
Right brain, right brain and left brain. The left brain habe ich gar nicht vor sich da.
Die Chapsche mit der Mind, das
heißt halt schon...
Was habe ich aber dafür?
Peace. Es bringt you peace. Brings you peace.
Die weiß, dass ist nur Mind.
So, no, 1 second, let's go somewhere else. Mind. Listen.
Die Industrie.
Fine, okay. That thing that you're expressing, that is one of the Aknani Chitim that's like, it's the question. But you need that in order to become mindful where you need to become mindful of. What you need to become mindful of. Without that, you would never become aware of yourself. It's too much, it's vast. This is Olam HaTikun. Olam HaTikun means that we're taking Toyu, the vastness, the Ein Sof, you're going in there and it's just like Mafleet. But what's the point? What's the purpose? That is Olam HaTikun. And the only way you can get the tikkun is if you put on this mask, this 3D movie that you're watching life from and through, to wake us up to becoming the questions you're asking. You're already in das. It means you cracked already the head. You're already watching yourself from up above. Like, why do I need that when last year you were in it? You didn't even know what you're not seeing. Okay, so the question is, that's what the Ramachman talks about Lashon HaKodesh. This month, the rest of Lashon HaKodesh, you're free. What does it mean Lashon HaKodesh? That you can speak in every part of your body. You can fight off the pleasure. Your mind. You recognize that, because what happens is like this. Malchus needs expression, and if I have an energy drives through me, and my filter is whatever mask I'm wearing. If I'm not refined, then I'm going to express. Like, people speak, some people curse, some people, levels of refinement, and lower and higher of the way you express yourself. Yeah. Now, if you don't speak Lashon HaKodesh, then we can express ourselves in anger, resentment. So mitamol, his excuse of living is why? Why so much pain? Why do I need it? That's where it's at. That's where that is one of the filters, that one of the energy points that are being blocked by a filter from a different 3D movie. Because instead of asking why, understanding en vusya, nicht des, vusya. Ich will nicht des.
So this was what was ja.
Exactly. Ich will nicht des, ich will nicht. We get all caught up in what we don't want. But okay, good. So wie ist der andere Satz? Now that you're so clear wus nicht, you pulled him out all the way. This is like what the Marangish got distracted. Now you find yourself fully in present of vusya, where you do want to be. That's why you need the mind. That's why you need the left brain. Because the right brain is good, but then you're not aware of it. Stimmt? Ja?
This might ein simche kreaturas as falsches, no?
Ja. What else? A share? A song? What do you guys want to animal play? Red? Somebody wants to share?
The way I look at this slow knob for the air conditioner for a fan, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so I'll kick with the knob and try to camera is dry and try so all you gotta do is drive. Shift your mindset. Look at it a different way. Just try it. This is what chemistry is.
Ze doet plaats, Kim. Ze doet plaats. No, it's perfect as I. No way. No, it's perfect. Yeah, it's too close. It's too close. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, it's gonna come down. Halt maar nooit van mij, is wel fit. I have a lot of new songs, but I got that was a chazan, and she gedenk ich when it's come chazura. But if I hear, can I nicht.
It's an old story.
Veroich tu v'chol Chasin Kodosh Na'alei V'seichu Yachid Geyer La'amcha P'nei Yachid Geyer La'amcha P'nei Yachid Geyer Shamu Seyini Kabei Lo Shema Tzako Seyini Shamu Seyini Kabei Lo Shema Tzako Seyini Yoideya Tabi Moi Hey yum Moya yo 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 Moya yo 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 Hey yum Yo 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 Chasin Kudoy Veroich tu v'chol Chasin Kudoy Na'alei V'seichu Just asking what's up. It's good to see you. I remember now in my house I used to sit on the couch. Huh? Chenish. Yes. Just remember that. Yeah, it's on the regular. Anybody wants to share?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody wants to share?
Jene kwana means still.
Yeah.
Zal.
So Zalman said, go ahead, share. We also. Okay. You want to share, Yossi?
Yeah. So the standing up, she is nice. Yeah, it's this moment of Kabbalah Salah, just saying like, oh, it's too much already. Like until now, I thought, oh, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna do that. But just that night, you just say like, you know what, I cannot do it myself. And I allow God in.
Oh.
By allowing it to be what it is, just to be. Not fight anything, just not to change what's happening. A deep level of.
I think that's where you find your face to face, okay?
That just came up.
Okay, good.
Ultimately, is to feel.
Yes.
That's ultimately where it starts. Like it's just there's no. You kind of spiel, just see it clear, no. And that now resonate with what we're saying, like, and based on what I'm saying about the ha, because it was this wait, more pain, more shit, guys.
Remember, Yitzchak was able to tolerate Esav and Avram and Shmuel, which means that we're dealing with Esav and Shmuel, and we're able to tolerate it. And we've overcome it.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, right, that's what the Rebbe meant with the Kodesh, when they expire about Kodesh.
And I think that when we wake up, we finally say that we don't want to tolerate it anymore.
That's when we wake up.
Yeah. We don't want to tolerate it. We don't want any more ice up in the show.
Question? How big is best to work with side by side or the Purim opponent? Or the kicking Purim opponent?
Purim is best, but it's not always, we're working there. Shvius is Purim.
But she's kan we kommer också till kurs så kan vi kan ganska Purim opponent.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
Yeah,
sure. And the simple way is to recognize that everything is Purim.
Well, technically it's the same thing. Ob es one mit der Schinne ist dieselbe Sache, sie steigt jetzt von Punem oder wachst mit dem side by side. There's no differentiation. So, yet, kann man sehen, wo the uncomfortability is zu walken side by side. Wo die Geschmackheit von Punem. And when I saw oh, this kind of thing she is you just realize dat ze dezelfde dag. And no limitations. Voor Irish is het alles hetzelfde voor een Irish. There's Kim said Irish. Meaning to say, we want something from still from the chef. So the way we look at it, it's just the gash means to go in. But Tom Weissman's the Irish came in 1900, it's kind of insulskig as it's much not me. Meaning Hashem is not going to impress me now with anything. Economics. Nothing woens the guys saying or the hearing or the experiences impressed with him. I'm just blessed with him.
But then to bring that into Elf, that's what the challenge is.
It's not a challenge.
Okay.
It's not a challenge. It's a challenge. The challenge is yes, well I feel that das is wrong, this is wrong. Yes, it's a challenge, fast she is. But she is. Come
Right.
start.
Okay, toll, good, beautiful.
Deze dingen hebben best.
Exactly. So
Deze de dingen dat hebben best. Als hij vast en nog hebt, in de eerste wow is de rest van mij omhoog. Maar dan weer een best. En pussy.
so was da geschehen spielt man nach das hier so impressed.
You said Kabbalah Zag. I'm doing it because that's what I was told to do. Yeah, I mean it's kind of like it's simple. I just to check in the present moment, drinking and I surrendered to that on Pesach. It was hard, but that's where the simcha is. I have a friend that had I think I shared this, he had a deep process and he came back with one thing, that the message he understood is it's all to be present with the kids, make the kids happy. Just to be that level of presence. And the Rebbe was all about that. The Rebbe was busy with the kids the whole time. He made so much time for them. As I'm told by the Chaver here, that the Rebbe wasn't talking to the elder Chassidim. They were there in Atzilus. He was talking to the kids. He was talking. The 40-year-olds were stuck. It's the kids that he spoke to. Mashiach, and do a mitzvah, put another break, like he was talking to them. And this is us. It's our generation that he was talking to. Because the elder they were stuck, and the kids were programmed. Like Boehner was about them. It was like he took time out. What this clip that went around that he told the father came for dollars, and the Rebbe tells him this is really Balchua. He wasn't even the Balchua at the time. He was just still getting into the system, whatever it was. And the Rebbe says, your son was clapping very nicely by the Farbrengin. Like he was coming with a kid, right? I think I posted it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Thousands of people, and he remembered that kid. He's like, your son was clapping very nicely. He's clapping very nicely by the Farbrengin.
Good clap.
Huh? Gid clap. Yeah. Who does that? No, forget about that. But that's what he was talking to. Imagine what it does to a kid when he hears that this man is noticed him.
He took the clipper from the Russians to go after the kids.
Right.
And he used that against them.
Nice. Right. The cantonist, right? They were chapping the chappers.
They showed him that the secret is in the kids. So he said, okay, if there's a secret, we know it already.
Right.
Not the first.
Parties are the same way. Kalaban, hele ta'uret is like, okay, right, very good.
No shit. If I can just add what you said before, it also you said like, okay, the thing is to spend time with the children. It's also spend time with the owner and a child.
Sure. Yes.
Not on their cheshbon though.
Yeah. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because your inner child is the 40-year-old. So speak to them.
I'm not looking to understand it. It's just I said it
First period.
No. What he's saying is that the 4-year-old child is that thing that will not sit down and go play with the kid. He's like, I can't do that. I'm busy. So that's that stuck that the Rebbe was dealing with his 4-year-old.
Wow.
don't spend time with the clipper, no?
Stuck with it.
Yeah, it's a Farbreng, and it's about getting stuck in the words.
No. Sit with it. Hier ist 2 Milch später. Here's a shit. Was
Coming from Maya. It's nice coming from you. Oh, it's a Farbreng, right? Can we say it's a Farbreng?
Yes, everybody is sharing their way of seeing.
You had it 2 hours without me. Now you have it with me. On the side.
Most of the guys?
Nee, ik ben door.
We want to sing a song? Dan moeten we zingen een regel. Zo eindelijk kan onhebbel een regel.
So
Was denn meinst du so? Was denn meinst du so?
Erst ist jetzt erst 2 Minuten.
Sorry, percepcji aggressive.
Was ist das?
مش غير
خمس سنين الله يعز 5 دقيقة 5 دقيقة الله يقدم
مش
5
غير
دقيقة
كان permission father so
مثلا
There's nuts in the fridge. Thomas throws some of that. Whatever.
Maar als vliegen zoekt dat je was kunt niet de besef agressie willen. En op een moment daar bezig blijft zien besef agressie willen. Als je deze door zakken, kan je hier en denk ik deze door zakken.
The way I look at it is jeder room komt to the old plaats. Jeder is from their plaats. A different number. Begin man what's a different number. But common denominator sind alle oben nummer. Das ist genommen. Als sind alle beunten zu jener Platz.
So is it consciously or subconsciously?
Wieso?
Is it consciously or subconsciously?
Beide.
Subconscious.
Conscious came to the subconscious.
Dus conscious dat is dan aware of een wish. So, can you subconsciously ieder machine ook kind of like but consciously dat is dan aware from it. So,
Deze is het tacht van mij, maar dat wil dan eigenlijk. This is subconscious.
Moshe.
Yes.
Moshe is geraden naar straat. Ze waren in public. De naam de grap toen.
Yeah.
Dat we de week van die Gregorianen. Ze staat in Barrel.
This is going for me?
Ja.
Is dat zo'n gemiddelde?
Dat was 4 jaar mee.
Ze er met meer vrienden.
Nou, deze dan mag pijlen. Deze
wow.
geraaien week voor die Gregorianen.
Het is zo'n keer van
Nice.
Ah, dat is van deze.
Ja, natuurlijk, joh.
Wow.
Zo zul je hem stellen uit. Die is de side bill still in public promotion.
Gewoon eens gewist dat is gewoon.
Ja, zo heißt het.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I think it's young too. What am I? Nine? Okay.
Nee,
Fine. Tough. Okay. Done. Okay. Tequila? I don't know. That's tequila.
Nog een beetje van de bag, dus de week.
No.
De tequila zijn nog een beetje haken gigas.
Okay, then go this little tie.
Dus hier is dat.
Okay. So, the other item that was good. Ramen. That's then Ruben Shlomo. Shai Ruben.
Lebovich.
Oh, okay. Said. Kijk de shows van de Lebovich, de andere Lebovich, niet van de Lebovich. Goldstein Lebovich. Het zit ook goed dates. Dan is de rest van de dates ook goed dates.
In the fridge?
Doe we dat hier. Ik heb niet het management thuis.